All right, welcome in. We are live. If you missed it, Alabama made the playoff. The committee got it right. Thank God. We couldn't have had this playoff, 14 playoff, without an SEC team, particularly with the way. I mean, did anybody watch that Florida State game? They barely beat Louisville over the weekend. So thankful that they got it right. Now Alabama's going to win the whole damn thing, probably. I think it'll be Texas and Alabama in the championship game. Trying to get Cousin Shane's reaction. Don't know if he's awake yet. No Florida State, no Georgia. Michael Riley says he's on cloud nine. Big Gator fan there. Jeff says Bama does not deserve to be in the play. Well, they just whooped Georgia's ass. Georgia was number one, weren't they? Beating number one, you're not good enough? I don't get it. Me and Shane should go to the Who's playing in the Rose Bowl now? Is that Bama and Michigan? That'd be a hell of a game. We should go. I don't know if Shane's allowed legally in the state of California. He's had some incidents. SEC. I mean, is there any doubt? Is there any doubt Alabama's going to win now? I mean, the team of destiny there. Just beat Georgia. Hell, they probably should have put Georgia in if they're going with the four best. But they say that, but then they don't do it. They put in friggin' Washington and Michigan and all these teams. Yeah, the national championship game, forgot that. It's in Houston. So could be a little bit of a home game for Texas if they were to make it. Is that the field? I'm already, there's so much going on here. Yeah, so we'll have number 3 Texas versus number 2 Washington. Yeah, come on. Texas is going to win that one. Steve Sarkisian Bowl. Michigan, Alabama. Will Michigan even score 10 points on Alabama? I don't think so. They'll probably beat them by 40 or 50 points. Bama versus Texas in the national championship. That's my prediction right now. Georgia should have been in over Texas's gas. I mean, the best 4, yeah, Georgia's better, but I didn't think Georgia didn't stand a chance when they didn't win the SEC. Bama barely beat. Again, you have to barely this, barely that. Go through Washington's schedule. Go through Michigan's schedule. Didn't they barely beat Ohio State, who's not even like everybody almost has it. You win the game or you didn't. I don't care if it's by 1 point of 100. Texas Bama revenge tour. I'm a big Bama homer now. Man, I'm surprised though. Still waiting for Cousin Shane. I don't think he's showing up. I thought, and I said this, I thought the Final Four should have been Bama versus Missouri, Georgia, Ole Miss. That's a better 4 than what they gave us. More competitive games. Harbaugh's last ride. He's got one more game as Michigan coach, and then he's going to lose and go on to the NFL. Texas, first two conference. Yeah, Texas won the Big 12. They can win the SEC if they win the next 2. Oh, bad. And then they're going to wait about 6 hours probably for the rest of the bowl games here, so which is kind of ridiculous. But, hey, we do got updated projections from Steven Lasson, and I'm going to throw those up on the screen here in just a minute. And a lot of people were already chiming in to say, oh, Bama ain't going to make it, blah, blah, blah. Steven, he knew they would. So he's been dead on about his first prediction. Bama, Michigan in the Rose Bowl. That was Steven's prediction, and that came true. Texas, Washington in the Sugar Bowl. He nailed that too. The rest of what he's got Georgia, Louisville in the Orange Bowl. He's got Mizzou, Ohio State in the Cotton Bowl. How about that, Mizzou fans? I bet they'd be fired up for that matchup. Ole Miss, Iowa in the Citrus Bowl. LSU, NC State in the Gator Bowl. Auburn, Northwestern, Music City Bowl. Tennessee, Wisconsin in the ReliaQuest Bowl. A&M, Oklahoma State in the Texas Bowl. Oklahoma, Arizona in the Alamo. And then Kentucky, Virginia Tech in the Duke Mayo Bowl. How about it? How about it? I'm trying to get this off the screen now. I mean, I don't know why anyone's surprised that Bama made it. I would have been stunned if Bama didn't make it. I mean, they're not going to leave out the SEC champ. Yes, the professor did call Bama national championship. He also predicted this is going to be Saban's final season. So, I mean, he's right on. If they win it all, Saban's going to ride off into the sunset. You don't go against the professor these days. Florida fans saying bowl games. What's that? That's something you may be able to get next year. Maybe. Year 3, Billy Napier. I know they went year 1. They got embarrassed. Probably wish they didn't go to that bowl game. Las Vegas Bowl it was. Ooh, Florida State fans. I mean, it couldn't have happened to a worse fan base. You know what? They're god-awful. God-awful. They're the worst. Is there a worse fan base than Florida State? They want out of the ACC. They want into the SEC. We found out why right here. You win the ACC, you can get left out. Never going to leave out an SEC team. And it just so happens to be Florida State. This is the year they needed the 12. 1 year short. $1 short, day early. Hell, I think if Georgia was in it, they could win it all too. I mean, that's one reason if you're in favor of the 12-team model. I mean, Missouri can make a run. Ole Miss can make a run. Iowa. I don't think Kirby's going to be pissed. I think Kirby knew his team blew their shot last night, and it is what it was. You had to go into that game knowing it was the national championship, and they came up short. They lost the game. Georgia is one of the best, no doubt. But again, they say they go for that, but they don't really. They just they go with that when it's convenient for them. Mizzou, Ohio State. I hope that is a game because Mizzou's going to whoop their ass. I feel so bad for these Florida State fans. I love how people give shit to A&M for all the NIL. Florida State's just as bad. They just, instead of doing it in recruiting, which Florida State still does, but they spend it all in the portal. I mean, their team is nothing but portal guys that they pay through NIL. Never hear anyone complain about that, though. Never. Now, if Florida State's quarterback if he was 100% healthy, I think they probably would have made it. They probably would have left Texas out because they were not going to leave Alabama SEC champion out. They just weren't. Never. So you heard Sankey campaigning for it all weekend. He knew what was up. He knew that, if Alabama won, they deserved to be in, and they did. So good job on the committee. January 1st, man, you know how sometimes on the calendar, the playoff games do not come in on January 1st. Thankfully, this is another year where they got it right in that aspect. January 1st, look at this game here. Number 1, Michigan. Number 4, Alabama. Alabama's probably going to be about a 14-point favorite, even though they're the lower seed. Monday, January 1st, 5 o'clock Eastern, Pasadena. What a damn game that's going to be. Yep, Bama's going to win it all. Only SEC. Well, I mean, Texas, I think, has got a real shot, too. Texas whooped their ass in Tuscaloosa. Alabama's a lot better, though. I think Texas has been inconsistent based on what I've seen this year. That doesn't mean they've been bad. But if Texas shows up that whooped Alabama, they'll whoop them again. I do think so. But will that be the team that shows up? Who knows? I mean, this other game's great, too. It's going to be the night game, Monday, January 1st, number 3, Texas, number 2, Washington, in New Orleans. Man, in the Sugar Bowl. What a game. What a damn game. I'm curious to know what you guys think. I mean, it's going to be Alabama, Texas, right? I'd be stunned if it's not. Washington looks okay, but they're not in Texas class. And Michigan, sure as hell, they're not. I mean, they just ran through. I mean, we saw what they had to do in the Big Ten. Did the other team even score? Did Iowa even score in that damn game? I don't think they did. I think they won 23-0, something like that. I had it on, but it was just god-awful to watch. I'm sure Bama's probably the favorite to win the whole thing. Let's try to get odds here real quick for the playoff. I haven't anybody shared if you've seen it already, but I mean, I know Alabama's going to be favored in their game. Odds to win. Ooh, okay, I was wrong. I don't know how legitimate this site is. Covers, whatever, but they've got Michigan as the favorite. So that tells you right there. Bet on Alabama. Alabama's second favorite. Texas, third best odds. Washington, fourth best odds. Bet on it because that's awful odds. Do not bet on Michigan. Michigan is not going to, they're not even going to win one damn game, none less two. If by some miracle they beat Alabama, they're not going to get past Texas in the championship. Sometimes these odd makers are kind of dummies here. I'd bet on Bama. If you got money to burn, outside shot, I'd bet on Texas. I like Texas odds at third best to win the national championship because they're the second best team in there. This could be a good field here, though. It's interesting that Michigan's favored. I can't believe that. With Harbaugh? Has Harbaugh ever won a big game outside of an Ohio State? And, I mean, Ohio State's fraudulent, too. So, that's hard for me to believe. Michigan, geez. Who does these odds now? These can't be legitimate. Oh, watching Florida State cry, it brings a tear to my heart. Oh, okay. I don't think Shane's showing up. I don't know where Shane is. Not responding. Is usually what he does when he doesn't want to do one of these shows. I sent him the link and everything. He's probably not going to show up. He's probably crying over Florida State. He's a big Florida State fan. Yep, I think Shane's too upset with Bama getting in. Done for TV ratings. I don't know. I mean, what? I mean, Florida State brings ratings, don't they? Yeah, if forever Florida State needed a reason to leave the ACC, come to the SEC, right there's your reason. You got to get out of this damn league. They don't even honor the champion when you're undefeated. God, I'd hate to be an ACC football person. Do they even have podcasts? I don't know. Cousin Shane is buried under a mountain of empty beer cans. Still looking for better odds. I'm not seeing any, but okay, here we go. So, Texas favored by 4.5 over Washington. No surprise. But how about Alabama? Let's look that up real quick. It's great radio here. Here we go. Oh my God. Michigan favored. I can't believe this is going to switch. Bet Alabama now while you can. Michigan favored by 2 in the Rose Bowl. Over under 45.5 total points. And then Texas favored by 4 over this is crazy. This is crazy. Michigan favored? Good luck. Good luck. They just sealed their fate there. I can't believe that. That's disgraceful. I mean, Alabama's going to beat them by 20 points probably. Have they seen Alabama play the last month? 4th and 31. It's going to go down in history as the play that won Bama another one. I can't believe that. I can't believe Cousin Shane's not showing up either. I mean, I can believe it, but he's got the day off, he told me. Nowhere to be found. Bama will not score against Michigan. Wow. Man, Jeff's just a damn hater. That team that we saw barely beat awful Iowa. Yeah, that's going to be awful. This is going to be a month of people telling you how good Michigan is and their defense and all this. That's going to be you're just playing into Nick Saban's hand. This Jeff. This may be Nick Saban right here. He's trying to rat poison his team over here. Yeah, Florida State didn't belong. Come on, people. They nearly lost to the Florida Gators. But all right, yeah, just quick reaction there. Bama got in. Committee got it right. Thank goodness. Didn't put in Florida State or, really should have put Georgia in, for being honest. I'd put Texas in. I'd put Georgia in over anyone other than Bama, because Bama just beat them. But, yeah. Congrats, Texas, Bama. That's going to be the national championship here in a couple weeks. Can't wait. I don't even think... I think Texas, Washington could be close, but Bama probably wins by 20 points. Texas will win by 7. Then we'll get a rematch in the national championship game in Houston. It's going to be a pro-Texas crowd. That's going to be one hell of a game. Steve Sarkisian, future Alabama coach, against current Alabama coach Nick Saban for the national championship. You heard it here first. I think that's January 8th. I believe that's the date of the national championship. Texas, Alabama, you heard it here first. And Alabama's going to win it. I'll just let you know. My opinion could change, but it's not going to. That's my pick for right now. Alabama beats Texas in the national championship game. Bet on Bama now. They're underdogs against Michigan. That's insane. But, Shane says he's driving right now. I told him the time. I guess he didn't care. He don't care about y'all. He cares about driving. So give Shane hell on Twitter. I would appreciate it. Well, that's all I got on this one. And we'll be back. We're going to go live later at some point, recap all these bowl projections, get Shane's thoughts on the playoff committee and all that. But I appreciate you guys. And again, we'll be